Welcome back. Thank you so much, David. That was a beautiful way to start our session. Welcome back to the Daily Antidote of Song. It is Sunday, July 10th, and it is a not too hot day up here in New York. I hope it's not too hot wherever you are. We're so glad that you've joined us today. As you can see, we have the fantabulous David Roth with us today, and we are so excited to get to sing with him. But before we do that, we've got some people to say hello to. First of all, a big hello to everyone out there on Facebook Live. Hi, Facebook. Hi, everybody. We're so glad that you're here joining us as well. And a big hello to all of you fine folks in the room. Hello to David Roth. Hello to our fearless leader, Joe Rossi. Hello to Carolyn on day 826 in Boise. Hello to Jenny in Suffolk in the UK. Hello to Annette. Hello to Amy. Hello to Bet. Hello. Hello to Becky. Hello to Christiana in Berlin. Susan G. Hello to Sheila in North Florida. Arlene in Berkeley, California. Deborah in Kentucky. Caroline in DC. Shari in New Hampshire. Kate in Charlottesville, Virginia. Ruth in Birmingham, UK. Steve and Michelle in Silver Spring. Luda and Mark and Victoria. Storm, hello to Aloysius. Hello to Trish and Victoria. Hello to Susan in Seattle. Hello to Jim. Hello to Ann in Maryland. Sarah in Texas. Hello to LMG. Busy working on Darla. Hello to Cricket. Hello to Bronwyn. Amanda and Miles in Michigan. I see a hand. I see two hands. Hello to Bob Sleepy in Massachusetts. Hello to Gwen. Hello to Kate Wandering. Delhi. Joni and all the rest of our friends joining us off camera. Nancy and her beautiful Irish cow somewhere. Hello to Fred in Silver Spring, Maryland. Hello to Mabel in Massachusetts with those cinnamon bears out in the sun. And I think that is all of you. And if I missed you on the way in, I'll get you on the way out. Now, enough of that from me. Let's turn it over to our fantastic artist of the day, David Roth. Welcome back, David.
Hi. Good to see everybody. And I don't get up this early on Sunday for just anyone. I want you to
Oh, we feel special.
know. Well, I'm very excited. I was trying to figure what song I could sing today. This is kind of short notice. I'm happy to be with you guys again. The last time I saw you, I was from a pub in Ireland, and we were singing with my Irish tour group. Here I'm back in Subterranean Homesick Blues down in the basement of world headquarters of David Roth Music. And I've gone through I've done about 16 or 17 songs for DAS over the last couple of years. And what songs haven't I done yet? Oh my God, this could have been the first song I ever did for you guys because it's such a great sing along. And I'll give you a tiny little history on it. Back in 2006, an elementary school teacher from New Jersey contacted me. Her name is Amy. And she asked if I could come in and write a song with her third graders or second graders. I think it was maybe the second grade. She was a second grade teacher, as I recall. She might correct me. Uh, and she said, "Could you come in and write a song, with the grades? I have this idea for this project where I'm going to bring in 6 different songwriters, and I want each of you to write a song with a different grade, K through 5. 6 songwriters. I think she brought in David Massengill, and she brought in Reggie Harris, and I might have brought in Freebo. He used to play bass for Bonnie Raitt, and people like that. Great. Not only artists, but teaching artists. So I said, yeah. She says, what grade do you want? And I said, well, I want the most sophisticated, most verbal, greatest vocabulary. Give me the 5th graders. She said, you sure? I said, oh, don't have a doubt. And I thought about this for a couple of days, and I thought, wait a minute. 4th grade, 5th grade, that's right about when they're too cool for school. And I called Amy back up. And I said, Amy, could you hold me back to the 3rd grade? And she said 3 words, which I'll never forget. She said, good decision, Dave. Because the 3rd graders were more malleable and more open and weren't quite too jaded away from anything that wasn't so cool anymore. So I went into Hartshorn Elementary School in Short Hills, New Jersey. And I was going to be with 4 classes, 23 kids each. And so I developed 4 questions, sort of like Passover, but completely different. The first question, and Amy wanted all the songs to be written on the theme of community, which I love. And how perfect is that for the Daily Antidote of Song? So I came up with 4 questions, one for each class, successfully through the day. First period got my first question. What does community mean to you? And we wrote a list on the board of things that it meant, including ice cream trucks and pizza and all the other stuff. Second period, is everything okay in the world right now? And even these third graders knew that not everything was okay in the world. And we made a long list on the blackboard. Third period, what's something you can do specifically to make the world a better place? And so we had specific little things, you know. One little fellow said, not hit my sister. I said, that's great, stuff like that. And the fourth one, a little more esoteric, but kind of the wrap-up verse was, where do we go from here? And by the end of the day, we had such a great song that I told the kids, I love the song so much. I've been singing it all this time, all these years, in a lot of places for adults everywhere. I said, I love this song so much, I'm going to send it to the President of the United States. And they said, you can do that? I said, yeah, I even know the address. Had to look up the zip code. But it was sort of a civics lesson too. So we sent off a recording of this to the President of the United States in 2006. And we heard back from the president's office. We got stickers of the White House dogs. We got pictures of Air Force One. We got all kinds of really cool stuff from the White House and a letter from the president thanking us for the song. All right. That's a lot of wind. You want to hear how this one goes? It starts with a chorus and it goes like this. Yeah, let's see. We belong together. We'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. Because we belong together. Try that with me. We belong together. We'll be friends forever. We'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. Will we fight? No, never. Because we belong together. First verse, some similarities. We belong. Very good. We'll be friends. Oh, we may not live in the same town, but we live in the same world, and our world has some problems. War, hunger, pollution, bad guys, hatred, disasters. We have to find a way. Here we go, everybody sing. We belong together. We'll be friends forever. We'll be friends forever. Hi, Bet. Hi, Annette. Will we fight? No, never. You take it, cause. And we have different religions. And we have different traditions. And we have different opinions. Imagine. And we have different names. Here we go, cause we belong together. And we'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. Because we belong together. We'll make sandwiches for hungry people. We'll pick up our garbage and we'll send cards to people who need them. We'll make friends instead of war. Because we belong together. Hi, Carolyn. And we'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. Will we fight? No, never. Because we belong together. So I won't be mean, I'll be kind. I will leave all that bad stuff behind. I'll be trustworthy and open up my heart. And that's where the changes will start. Because we belong together. We'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. Because we belong. Oh, let's sing that chorus one more time. And we belong together. We'll be friends forever. We'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. Because we belong together. Don't you know it's true that we belong together? No matter what they tell you, we belong together. Don't you know it's true that we belong together.
David, thank you so much. That was beautiful. And I'm not going to say another word because there's someone here I think we'd all rather hear from, the aforementioned teacher,
Yes, well, I
Amy
want to introduce
Blake.
you all to my friend who I texted her this morning and said, Amy, you got to zoom in for this. This is the teacher who brought me to Hartshorn Elementary School. This is Amy Blake, everybody. So we're going to unmute Amy. And Amy, it's great to see you. Let's see. Let's see if we can get you unmuted. Ask to unmute. And let's see if we can get some on. There
I
you are.
think you're
Hi,
okay.
how are
Hello, David. Long time no see
you? Oh, don't you love that New Jersey accent you got?
in person. Hey, wait, I live in New York City now.
Okay. Oh, now you're not in Florida anymore.
Yeah, no, no, that ended.
That's right. I
That's
forgot. Okay.
that's
Well, anyway,
over.
I just want to speak on behalf of Amy, who had the foresight to not only invite musicians and singers to her school, but got the school district to fund it, to subsidize it in some way. It's not always the case where the arts in our country are held in high esteem, and usually the budget for entertainers and such is the first thing to go. When money is being saved. So Amy was a tireless advocate for people like me to bring what she felt was something of value to the schools. Am I speaking for you, Amy? Tell us.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think if there are teachers out there, because there is lack of funding and people, unfortunately, in our country don't support the arts, if you can go to your PTO or your school board or whoever and show that this fits within the curriculum and show them how it fits within whatever curriculum you're working with. And then for me, I think the icing on the cake was to show them scientifically why this is good to bring into schools. The research today shows the singing, reading brain are very similar looking in MRIs and PET scans, and schools are very into singing, reading. So the singing, reading connection is very strong. So I think sometimes if you can go to whoever it is that you need to go to, you can get them on your side. Now, the other thing I will say, and David, it's because of David that I pretty much started my career of bringing singer-songwriters into school. I had just met you. I don't even know if you remember this, and you played in Jersey City. I met you because Christine Lavin was supposed to be playing at Artbees, and she can't. Actually, I'm going with Christine later to see Rod McDonald. But anyway, that's a whole different story. Um, and I had this idea, and I didn't even know you. I saw you once or twice, and he was in this beautiful building, and I went over and I said, David, I have this idea, blah, 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 blah. Can you do it? And if you know David, you know that twinkle in his eye when he gets that, like, that light up. And he's like, I can do that. I'm like, great. Well, I had no idea then that he had never done anything like that. And that was like totally brand new to him. But he could do that, and he did such a good job, and all those musicians came in and did such a good job writing with kids, because the purpose was to pass down the writing process and to teach children, which I feel very strongly is to look inside. We write from the inside out. And David was a perfect person to have kids look inside and bring out what they know. We can only write what we know about. So that's how that project came to be. And for years after, I've had musicians in my school every year, whether to write with kids. The cultural arts committee would bring them in for, play, for the whole school. But I found it very easy to work within my school as long as I can scientifically let them know why these things were valuable. And then I lucked out and supported it because DJs in the area were very willing to play this on the radio. So people, we had 365 families in our school. They knew Sunday afternoon Ron Olesko was playing this. It supported the community as well. The last thing I will say, and I don't know how David feels about me saying this, but I find musicians are very workable for coming into schools financially. And I was very lucky because not always could I get what musicians wanted to have for that day. But I felt that I was fair, um, and I did my best, and they knew that. And because of that, I had incredible musicians come through my class. I had Joe Jenks and Greg Greenway. Pat Wichter did a 3-day body percussion workshop with my kids every year. I related it to reading. I mean, how they believed all this, it's true, but you know, so wherever you are in your area, there are musicians who will work within schools. And I think if you're really nice to them, maybe throw them a house concert or find them something, a venue in their area so that they could make more money so it works through. I think you'd be surprised at how many musicians will come into schools. Anything else you want me to say, David?
You're amazing, Amy. And the other thing I'll tell you is once Amy started this snowball of bringing culture and process into her school, we knew right away. Me and my friends all knew that when Amy called and asked you to jump, you said how high on the way down.
Yeah, it was so interesting because I also do philosophy with children. And that's one of my certifications. And Greg Greenway, who's, if you know him, he's like, heady. He would sometimes just stop by for an inquiry circle, just to see what kids were thinking about and how they were thinking. And that was all based on the arts, on the song or a poem or a sculpture or a painting. Yeah, but I'm retired, floundering, looking for what to do next. Any suggestions, I'll take them.
Yes, educational counseling to educators.
Right.
Joe, I wonder if you'd weigh in because you're all about education of the arts, and I don't want to put you
Where
on
are
the
you?
spot, but I see you right here, my friend.
Hi, Amy. It's so glad. This is just beautiful. I can't believe everything that came out of your mouth. I was cheering over here and just saying, yes, let's go.
Where are you?
Well, I'm pinned. I don't know if you can see me, but that's okay. I can meet you at the end if you can't see me right now. I was just gonna say, yeah, that teachers do so much for kids' education, teaching kids about change, keeping it real, and then musicians or artists who come into the classrooms add such an amazing level to that. And yes, we've had Joe Jenks singing in here with us, and we've had Greg Greenway singing in here with us. And if you're looking for something to do, I'm going to highly recommend the Daily Antidote every day at noon Eastern, singing a song along with all those fabulous musicians. And boy, do we have volunteer spots open if you're looking for a little something to do. Everybody in the room who's done some volunteer work for the Daily Antidote, raise your hands. Come on, you all wrote cards. I know you did, and you all did good work. So yeah, there you go. So Amy, thank you for all of the good work you've done out in the world and with kids. Never more than ever do we need to make sure that kids right now are getting open-minded curriculum. And so thank you so much. And David, thanks for calling on me.
Yeah. And, not to be overlooked is this whole mentality, at least my perception in this country, of when one of our kids has talent, not to throw them onto American Idol or to give them this illusion that, oh, we can really monetize this. You're 12 years old and you can sing an Aretha Franklin song and that sort of thing. I think it's the antithesis of art.
Right.
And how you develop a lifelong relationship with art and music when
Right.
you get thrust into a competitive society where people are compared. You can't compare things like this. They're just different in so many ways, like snowflakes. So,
Can I say one more thing?
yeah.
If you go to the bookstore today or the library and you look at picture books, the quality of picture books today, what you would say for children, but not necessarily are they really for children, is incredible. You can find books on every subject. I have a 4-year-old grandson I've been reading Anti-Racist Baby to since he's been born. I mean, the ABCs of activism. But not only can you find the literature, you can find a story. You can find a song to match every book. So one of the things that I did, and if you have grandchildren, I mean, that's why I'm putting this out there, is for every picture book, there's a wonderful folk song or singer-songwriter or whatever genre you want to put it in. And the perfect example is David's song wrote, and this is what started me. Actually, David, I owe you more than I can ever express my gratitude for. But there's a book, Rosa and the Three Ks, by Faith Ringgold, who is an incredible artist, an African American, a woman author, which we don't always find. And it's about Rosa Parks. Well, David's song, Rosa and the Three Ks, is the same story, except his song adds a new life to it because it talks about 1955 and what happened and the highway. So I was able to take a book that would be okay for me to read to a class. I was able to use his song, and then I was able to give my kids a lesson, a more realistic, a closer in my lifetime lesson. And I think the matching of books and music is so important because of that singing, reading connection. My second graders used to go down the hall singing Phil Oakes songs. My school, they didn't know who Phil Oakes was. They had no clue. But do what you got to do when they're happy. They had no idea what it was in relation to. I just made it relation to what we had to do in our classroom. So I think whether you're a grandparent or you're a parent or whoever you are out there in the world, to bring music and language together will create and thinkers. There's a whole nother section of teaching kids how to ask big questions and how to inquire with the purpose of being different. But I think if we do all that, maybe we'll have hope for the world.
And thanks,
So-
Amanda, Alex, and Miles for holding up books.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I have that. I actually, I moved from where David's seen me. Here, I'll show you. I don't know if you can, but I now have in New York City, if you can see these are all the children's picture books I brought from from where I lived, and these are all my music and whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because
furniture and clothing, she brings books.
I bring books, right? So if you ever want to have a conversation about books and literacy and the teaching of reading and music, please feel free to call me because I'm floundering.
All right, so Amy, I have to just throw this out there because one of the projects that we've launched, and we haven't even launched it fully yet, is that the Daily Antidote is also running an anti-racist book project where we are getting folks in the room are donating anti-racist kid books and putting them out into places where other kids need to find them, basically. So libraries, community centers, little free libraries, whatever. And boy, do we want to have a book chat with you. So
oh yeah, please do. You really want to talk to my daughter. My daughter was a social worker in Harlem, in New York City, and she has a book for everything you could want. Your mother was shot, your father died of drugs, you have your two moms, two dads, whatever. So
amazing.
Please use me as I would more than love to give you all the time I have because that's all I have.
David, thank you so much for introducing us to Amy, because on date 800 and whatever it is today, I can't see because Carolyn's not holding up her sign, but on day 826, I got to say, we found you 826 days too late, and we're really excited for the next 826 days of knowing you in this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David, because without you, I would not have found this program. So,
was it your school where you illustrated 4 of my songs and made a little?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you should see the book my kids illustrated for him. We took 4 of his songs. You tell them.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it somewhere. It is a priceless treasure. I wanted to duplicate them and hand them out at my shows. Took 4 of my songs. They're songs that are based on true stories about what I call ordinary people who do extraordinary things, like the Special Olympian, who was in the finals of the 100-yard dash, who fell down, and some of the others stopped the race, went back, and walked him across the finish line hand in hand, stuff like that. So Amy,
Right, but we found that in Chicken Soup for the Soul, for the children's soul, as well as that's where it is as well.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just letting you know.
So yes, Amy sent me this songbook of 4 of my songs illustrated by the kids, about a single mom was one of them, and then the Special Olympics. I forget the other 2, but so touching. And it just reminds me that, in this culture of everybody trying to get as much as they can, what are the things that really have meaning, and that's one of the most meaningful things I've ever received. To see.
And don't you have a box of CDs you just found?
I
If
donated
people,
them to the
so,
library. I donated them to the library months ago.
oh, I was going to say people could send you, money and you could, to pay for postage, you could send them the whole project.
So yeah, Amy collected recordings of all the 6 songs by all the grades and put them on a CD called Hartshorn Sings, I think, as I recall. Was that the
Right.
name? Yeah, I don't have those anymore. I had boxes of them for years, but it was all the songs sung by all the kids, because we all brought tape recorders in there. I will tell you this, that on one of my CDs, I put "We Belong Together" on there, and I was singing with 3 other singers, Sloan Wainwright, Reggie Harris, and Penny Nichols. We were taking turns on the lines. But in the chorus, I had recorded all the kids who helped write the song. And by the end of the song, and I had recorded, thousands of people singing it at conferences all over the country. And by the end of the recording, you hear thousands of voices singing this, including the kids who helped write the song. It's really quite something. So
That
I
sounds
think, Joe, maybe I'll make
incredible.
an MP3 available to you. I'll send it to you if anybody would like to hear that. Or you can
Please,
write me.
please do. We would
Yeah,
love
David
to
Roth
give
Music
people
at
a chance to hear
gmail.com
that.
at Gmail, and I'll send you an MP3 of that tune, which I put on one of my records. So.
Right. Well, that was the second thing. You promised them you'd send it to the president and you'd record it on your next CD.
And you were good to your word.
Yeah.
Now, as much as I hate to cut this off because this is absolutely amazing, could you sing that song for us one more time so that
Now,
we
do you
leave
want the
with it in
chorus or
our
you want the
heads?
whole song? You want the whole song?
Let's take the whole song. It goes by pretty fast.
All right.
Go ahead, take it away.
Amy, thank you for joining us today, and welcome to your new retirement.
Right. Thank you.
We belong together. We'll be friends. We'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. Will we fight? No, never. Because we belong together. First verse. We belong together. We'll be friends forever. We may not live in the same town, but we live in the same world, and our world has some problems. War, hunger, pollution, bad guys, hatred, disasters. We have to find a way, because you take it. And we have different religions, and we have different traditions, and we have different opinions, and we have different names. Still, you know we belong together. We'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. Because we belong together. We'll make sandwiches for hungry people. We'll pick up our garbage and recycle. We'll send cards to people who need them. We'll make friends instead of war, because we belong together. We'll be friends forever. We'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. Because we belong together. So I won't be mean, I'll be kind. I'll leave all that bad stuff behind. I'll be trustworthy and open up my heart. And that's where the changes will start. 'Cause we belong together. We'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. Because we belong together. We belong together. One more time, I'll sing it. We belong together.
Wow, that was beautiful. 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 That was beautiful Couldn't have said it better myself. And as much as I hate to cut this off, we gotta say our goodbyes. Everybody, give one last huge thank you to both David and Amy. Thank you both so much for all of your wisdom and your joy and your beautiful words. We're so happy that you were here with us today, and we hope you are here with us for many, many days to come. Amy, you are welcome anytime, every day. David, you know you're welcome anytime, every day. And I think it is time to say goodbye. Everyone wave a big goodbye to all of our friends out there on Facebook Live. Bye, Facebook.